Sometimes you may have to look for a piece of information but not know exactly what it is that you're looking for, or not have the full text value, or like the title of my book, for instance, in this database that I have pulled up. And so what we're going to do is look at using a wildcard here in order to do a query. And so what I'm going to do is, you can see here in the books that I have listed here, I've got a letter A there. That's going to be kind of important for us to look at. I've got A, and then I've got A here as well. And so I may know that, and I'm going to use just something small here, that the book title that I'm going to look for has the letter A in it as by itself. Now there are a couple ways to look at this, and so these are the results of the books that I currently have. So let's take a look at how to actually manipulate it if I wasn't for sure exactly what I wanted to look for, and I didn't want to display every record to try to find it. So what we've got now is, this is just the basic query, select everything from books, and we've been using a wildcard for this asterisk here to select all my columns. However, that is not the wildcard that we use in Oracle. We're going to actually use the percent sign instead of an asterisk. And I know some databases use an asterisk, but for Oracle we're going to use a percent sign for that wildcard. And so just like we would normally do, select everything from books. And what I can do now is I'm going to go ahead and hit enter here and remove that semicolon. What I want to do now is I'm going to actually change up the clause a little bit and put where I'm looking for the thing. So for instance, you'll see here, I'm going to type in where, and then we're going to go ahead and say the field name or the column name. So I'm going to go ahead and say title. And now since we're using a wildcard, I have to use a keyword here. And we're going to use, instead of an equal sign, I'm going to actually use a word, it's just a keyword like. So where title is like, and then I'm going to put in what I'm looking for. And since this is text, I'm going to go ahead and put it in a single quote. And I'm going to use the letter A, and I'm going to use a percent sign. Now the percent sign is the wildcard, and so in this case what's going to end up happening is it's going to pull out any record that has a letter A in it starting off in my field, and then with any amount of characters after it. And so if you take a look, let's just go ahead and run it and see what happens. I actually I'll put a space there because I'm going to actually do the letter A space and then something after it. I'm going to go ahead and run it. And you're going to see that it comes up with the 3 different records, all the ones that begin with the letter A. And that's because I don't have the wildcard to the left of the letter A, I have the wildcard after the letter A only. Now if I change up my search and I put a percent sign in front of it, now what I'm saying is any words to the left of the letter A is okay, a letter A, and then any words to the right of a letter A is okay. And so if I run it, you'll see that I've gotten that here in 3 different books. I've got the letter A here, where there's a space here to the left and a space to the right, anything to the left, anything to the right, same thing for these 3. So now I've found where the letter A is in the title. And now if I go ahead and actually take the spaces out, what I'm saying now is I want any amount of characters to the left of the letter A, can be anything to the left, and anything to the right of A as well. So now if I hit run, you're going to see it pulled up. I've got this one here is fine, and you've got also an A there. I've got this is fine, this is fine, and if you keep going through, all of these are going to end up being fine for us because I've got an A with anything to the left and anything to the right. And so now all of those records actually showed up. And so let's just change it up. Instead of a letter A, let's try something else. Let's say I wanted all the books that had the word of in it. I can do percent sign, and run it. And you're going to see every book that's come up with a letter or with of as a word in it will come up. And so this is using the wildcard. And if I took away the character on the left hand side and I run it, I'm going to end up having a problem. And that's because none of my books start with of. Now you got to also remember that you've got to be case sensitive too. So if I did the percent sign and a capital O, small f, no data is found. And that's because none of my words begin with a capital O and an F. I have to do the small o, small f, so this is case sensitive. So one thing to keep in mind is making sure that you have the percent signs or my wildcards in the correct spot, whether it's to the left or to the right or both sides of the word you're looking for. Also keep in mind this casing of your letters to making sure that they're correct. And this will help us to find, using the word like as our keyword instead of an equal sign, will help us to find exactly what we're looking for if we only know partial amount of the data.